Hello everyone and welcome back to Discovery Bay. We've got a bit of a short one for this episode, and that's because this is some footage of me building on my area Hacienda del Hacho, and this footage I recorded about a month ago I think, and I basically at the end of this I sort of lost motivation to keep playing, but I thought I'd get this video out there because it's kind of too late to wait for me to play more and get more footage to add on the end of it. So I just thought I'm in a completely different frame of mind when I build this compared to when I next do some work on this park. So this is a bit of a shorter video, but it will be some work on the start of the queue line, which includes this little steps area that you've seen me building here. And this is gonna be shaped like a vineyard, so this was very much inspired by Furius Baco, and you'll see some of that as we start building the rest of it. But I want to update you guys on Discovery Bay. Unfortunately, it seems like this project is being put on hold at the moment. I'm the only one of the team that's been building anything at the moment, as far as I'm aware. I think that's because everyone else has lives and I don't, so I'm the only one left building for now, which is a little bit annoying because I'm not as motivated when I feel like I'm not building in a team anymore. But my own area is separate, you know, I don't need to wait for anything, I can build this in my own time, so I won't stop completely, but I think because I'm losing a bit of motivation, it'll probably slow down the process, but eventually when the time comes, I'm sure everyone else will keep building their own areas. So I'm looking forward to when that happens, because it's always exciting to see what someone else has done, but unfortunately I'm missing that a little bit at the moment. But it's not the end of the world. I still of course do have another project which I will be working on, Lilienberg, so if anything, slowing down this project just means I can put more of my resources into the other project. But yeah, I'm a little bit busy with schoolwork. I'm in my final year of 6th form, so uploads won't be that frequent, but I'm just gonna play it when I feel like playing it and make videos when I feel like making videos, because I don't really have much else that I do in my free time, unfortunately. So when I'm free and I don't have homework, this is probably what I'll be doing. And you can see the vineyard going across here, and I added some flowers in as well to add a bit of variety to make it feel a bit more overgrown, but I unfortunately had to use the exact same grapes plant for all of these, and that's because there was one variation of it but the shape was weird so that you wouldn't see it in a vineyard. So to make this look a little bit less copy and paste, you saw earlier that I lifted some of them up and down, rotated them, stuff like that. But I'm working with plaster pieces and temple pieces to make the edges around this. I don't really know what to call it, like it is steps, but I can't think of a word for it, but it's pretty self-explanatory. You can just see that I'm doing it twice here, and this was because it made my job easier when I went to duplicate this on the other side, as you'll see now. And yeah, it was just trying to do this in as little pieces as possible instead of using loads of plaster pieces. Now we're not anymore, but we were just moving the cobblestones across so that they fill in the path a bit more. But at the end of this episode you'll start to see more of the area coming together. You see the top of the stairs there, that's where we'll start to build the whole villa house building, which is where the station is going to be located inside, and some of the queue line will be there as well. So we're just putting some trims around this because this is like almost the porch for the house, I guess, because it is going to be this really extravagant, expensive Spanish mansion. That's what I'm going for, but I haven't actually built the mansion yet, so we'll see what that looks like when I get around to doing it, I guess. But yeah, I've actually you know, I'll get round to this in the future, but for inspiration I've looked at a map on Rainbow Six Siege, which is a game that I don't actually play myself, but I've seen videos of it, and some of the maps on that game are really impressive. They have really good theming, so I look at it for the detail of that. So I've found some videos online where people do tours of the maps, and I've got screenshots out of that, because there is a map in Rainbow Six Siege which I think is just called the Villa. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what it is. And yeah, I'll be looking at that for inspiration. But now we're just putting rails going up. This is for a little bit of safety, because, you know, you can never be too careful when there's stairs, because there's people of all ages coming up and down these steps. It's just to provide a bit more security so it looks safe. And then there's also some chains there, and this whole thing is actually a quite convoluted castle pen system. So there's one main queue going through the middle, and when the park theoretically doesn't have many guests in the park, you know, the rest of the cattle pen will be cut off, so you can just walk straight up the stairs. But on other days you will be using the sides of this, so it's almost like one big cattle pen, but it happens to be going up on steps. So it was quite fun to design this and think about where the queue would go, because I kind of wanted to integrate it in a different way rather than having one flat cattle pen. So it doesn't really look like a cattle pen, but it is one. So I think that's quite a cool feature. And yeah, you'll see the chains going here so that they can close off different bits of these stairs, because you can imagine the queue going up one of the stairs, then turning right and going all the way across. It's not that clear, but I have figured in my head that it will be possible for them to have a proper like a straight, not a straight line, but like a snake following through the entire queue, if you can imagine that. So it will be possible to do this, but for the purpose of the game there's no need to actually close off sections, because of course there won't be guests walking on these paths. You will have noticed that I've not used any in-game pathing or queue pieces for this, so there's no need to make it so that if you're walking around in Tejikam you have to follow the whole queue, but the rest of it is there just for some detail. Anyway, that's all I've got. I know it's a short one, but hopefully I'll see you again soon. Goodbye, thanks for watching.
Buckle up, it's a drill ride.